Church, you'll hear more about, and at Magdalene Chapel, you'll hear more about the men and women who stood up and upheld the covenant between them and God, and that was a stronger bond than between their king. So you'll be hearing about that. But the first place we're going to go to is the Bannockburn, newly opened, just opened a couple months ago, exhibition center. And Bannockburn, that may not be a word that means anything to you at all. Bannock means small cake or small bun. It has nothing to do at all with the shape of the burn or the small river that its name is attached to. There is a Bannock burn, a small river that meanders its way around Stirling Castle. There's an even larger river called the Forth River, which also meanders its way around Stirling Castle. And both rivers meander because Stirling Castle is an island. Basically, it sits on top of a very high rock, volcanic plug in the middle of what was very, very marshy ground. And two very important battles in Scotland's history took place within just a few miles of each other. The first was in 1296, and that was the Battle of Stirling Bridge, when William Wallace defeated the English. Huge difference in numbers. Wallace with a ragtag bunch of soldiers, nothing like the very disciplined English army. The English army that was said to be the fiercest, biggest, most prepared, most well-armed, most destructive army in all of Europe in the 13th century. And the Scots came up against them at the Battle of Stirling Bridge and beat the tails off of them. And I'll be telling you about that. That's William Wallace, the great. He never was king of Scotland. He was the great protector. And following on after he died, we have Robert the Bruce, who was king, who you saw when you were up seeing the crown jewels of Scotland. The crown of Scotland allegedly was made from the smallish circlet of gold that was placed on Robert the Bruce's head in 1306. He became king of Scotland. And I'm calling him king of Scotland. I want you to take note of that, because at the end of the day, I'm going to explain to you why kings and queens from 1320 onwards changed their names. Robert the Bruce went from being king of Scotland to being king of Scots. And that may seem like a very tiny difference, but it is a massive importance to the Scots and to the Americans as well. To all of you, you will be interested in that story, and that will be at the end of the day. But let's start out, because it's morning, and all educational experts do say that you're your sharpest in the morning. So I'm gonna run through some history now for you very quickly. And as I do, before I do, the reason we're going this way, just out to the right, well, it's front of the coach right now, but it will be out to our right. You'll just catch